Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/Capes and Lunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest night,
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those who worship evil's might,
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light.
Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. Green Lanterns, that's right. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Green Lantern Corps, it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
That's right. All right, kids. This time, all right, we'll change it up. We'll explain this here in a little bit. But tonight, we're going to do The Brave and the Bold, the first 6 issues, so the first arc, featuring many superstars in the DC universe, including our boy Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan, Supergirl, Lobo, Blue Beetle, the star of a current movie.
Legion
of Superheroes. I mean, I knew, I read this like, oh, Will's going to like this. And of course, the one, the only, the favorite of a certain Australian.
Batman, my favorite character.
So, yes, kids, we decided because there was more Hal Jordan than I originally saw on the list for Brave and the Bold. So we figure we'll do the first arc this week. Next week we'll do there's like two issue arcs and like a one and done. So we'll do those Brave and Bolds next week with Hal Jordan, and then in 2 weeks we're gonna do a 3-issue. I think it's 3 issues. A 3-issue arc from Legends of the DC Universe featuring Hal Jordan and Oliver Queen. That way everything will line up. So right week 1 of 2024 we'll start Blackest Night. So
Wow.
Happy New Year! Here's some zombies.
Happy New Year. It's time to die.
Happy New Year. Here's your zombie apocalypse.
That's right. Super-powered zombie apocalypse.
Cosmic. All right. So, again, we were recording this Tuesday the 12th, so I will get Green Lantern number 3 tomorrow.
All right.
But I was going to bring something up to you. Like, you saw that article I sent you. I mean, it's the information's been floating out there where basically, Hal's ring's going to be he's going to be able to form different constructs that aren't green, but it's not going to have all the fancy, it's not going to have a universal translator. He's not going to be able to fly into space. So
no AI.
Yes. So is this reminding you of anything? Or we're like rebooting back to like a very basic form? I mean, is this like day one Kal Rayner?
I think we're taking the Earth focus, more superheroic focus, like they had with Kyle.
Yes.
And transplanting it to Hal, and they're doing it by way of monkeying with the ring, right?
Yeah.
So it's, but we're not, I mean, I think part of the, and this is just me talking as a Hal Jordan fan, so, if I say something stupid, call me on it. I think one of the real appeals of Kyle, especially during that block of time, was that he was still learning the ropes and proving himself. Very much still an everyman. Kyle has long since moved past being that everyman. He is the torchbearer, Ion, the White Lantern. I mean, he's kind of moved beyond all of that stuff. I don't think we're getting that with Hal. Hal is still kind of the consummate professional, as he's always been. It's just I think Jeremy Adams is wanting to throw him back into.
Is it more like a classic feel? Like let's say maybe back like first couple issues of Hal Jordan. For very Silver Age vibe where he's like on Earth and fighting supervillains more.
It seems kind of like that. I mean,
Because in one of the previews I saw, he even makes I think he makes the comment or the thought he has. He's like, "Oh yeah, I can make different color constructs, like my original ring, Albin Sur's ring."
which is interesting. And I'm curious because that's Jeremy Adams doesn't do things just willy nilly, you know.
Yes.
he he is very much a fan of continuity, like we are,
Mhm.
and I think he's definitely building towards something. And I'm willing to give him some time to do that. But I also, while I am willing to give him that time, I also want him to hurry up. The 2 month break in the middle of that, ugh, come on, DC, come on. We should be up to issue 5 by now, okay? Not that the Night Terrors were bad issues. They were, of course, written by Jeremy Adams. It's just that
Yes.
it was a big chunk of stoppage of the everything else that's been set up. And if you remember at the end of number 2, there might have been a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end of number 2, right? You know, Ring on the edge of the atmosphere failing and him falling to his certain death. I don't know. That's kind of a big cliffhanger, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the Night Terrors again were good because Jeremy Adams also wrote those. But I mean,
Mhm.
basically the whole 2 issues took place on that plane.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's a really a great moment that I liked in that second Night Terrors issue. Although I do want to, if we can kind of veer and talk about that for a second. There's that great panel where the villain is monologuing and like wah ha ha, I'm gonna wait, why are you smiling? And Hal's like, you picked the wrong guy on the wrong planet. Which I thought was pretty awesome because overcoming fear is what Green Lanterns do, right?
Yes.
Um, I did think the art was a little bit uneven in that issue, though.
Hmm.
In places, it got a little bit more cartoony and a little bit blockier, I thought, but it was just it was I mean, because there were multiple people doing the art on the
Yeah.
issue, and it just
Yeah.
didn't seem to flow really well to me. Not
Mm.
that any of the art was bad, it's just it
Yeah.
was different in different chunks. So, but otherwise, yeah, they were enjoyable issues, but it was we should be going here, and we're going to swerve here for 2 issues. So let's come back now, and yeah, and I guess it's down to a little bit of impatience on my part because we've been waiting for a Green Lantern book for a year since the Thorn run ended, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And you know, I I'm all for this back to basics approach, but I'm also wanting to see where it's building toward, and I feel like our patience is being tested sometimes.
Well, and then what is it? Like another month or two, we'll be getting that John Stewart miniseries
Yep.
also, War Journal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to number 3. So you can give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm sure it'll be a thumbs up, but I'm looking forward to it very
We'll have,
much so.
we'll have to reach out at some point and see if this Jeremy Adams will come back on and talk some of these Green Lantern issues.
We can certainly do that.
I'll try. I'll try.
But hey, we can't throw the schedule off. We got to start Blackest Night on January.
I know. No, that's fine. I mean, we can always make it a Capes and Lunatics episode. No, I'm just, yeah. All right. I know how to work the system. All right.
Yeah.
So should we get to these issues? There are 6. There are 6 of
There are
them,
6 of them. Let's do it.
and not a Guy Gardner in sight.
Yeah, we did get a quick John Stewart though.
Yes. The beginning of the issue. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let me pull up the old synopses here. All right, kids. So yes, the first 6 issues. So we'll start with The Brave and the Bold, volume 3, number 1 from April 2007. The Lords of Luck, part 1, Roulette. Writer, friend of the show, Mr. Mark Wade.
Hi, this is Mark Wade, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Penciler, the late great George Perez.
Yes.
Inker Bob Wyshek. Colorist Tom Smith, letterer Rob Lee, and editor Joey Cavalieri. All right, hold on. All right, we got Green Lantern is flying through outer space back home when he finds a dead man with a bullet hole in his chest floating before him, 145 miles above Earth. That's right, Law and Order, GLC.
There we go.
Hal Jordan transmits a signal to
Batman, my favorite character.
Batcave to ask help. Oddly enough, there's a similar man lying dead on the floor of the Batcave. Hal flies to Gotham. In the Batcave, Batman explains 62 other corpses have been found all over Earth at locations associated with heroes. What was it? It was like Atlantis, the Flash Museum. So somebody's sending us somebody's sending a message here, or a cry for help. Over the last half hour, adding to the mystery, whatever hurts one body hurts all of them. Batman deduces it's an alien life form and discards death by gunshot. Green Lantern finds a weird radiation trace emanating from the wounds and agrees. They don't know who the murderer is, but Batman finds a playing card in the victim's pocket wearing a logo of a casino gift shop. A casino Batman knows. Before they can follow that lead, a large yellow energy monster breaks into the cave and attacks them. Hal hits the energy monster until it starts dissipating and confirms it gives off the same energy signature as the one from the murder weapon. Unbeknownst to both heroes, their battle has been watched by two beings that bet on the outcome. The loser complains about the Haruspecs not accounting for the Green Lantern ring not being vulnerable to yellow anymore, and his partner states it'll soon learn. Al charges his ring up, and both men head to the Kismet Casino in Las Vegas. When they arrive, they find out Kismet has come under new ownership, and the owner is unusually reclusive, been shut inside her suite for days. They also learn security guards found a man murdered right outside Kismet's front door about an hour ago. Well, oh, well. I know there's a gambling joke in there, but I don't know. Came up craps. Later that night, Green Lantern and Batman break into the owner's suite. They find a picture of the victim hugging Roulette, and Bruce deduces she's Kismet's new owner. They're about to enter her office when the door bursts into flames and they see Roulette using Firebug's gauntlets to try to burn a floating book which she's terrified of. As Hal puts the fire out, Batman tries to calm Roulette down. Roulette babbles she's trying and failing to destroy that book as she promised Drake. Drake was hired by some aliens to steal that book, but he refused to hand it over when he realized what it was. He wanted to warn the heroes using his body replicating ability to reach all of them at once, but he was killed before he could find help, and Roulette fears they'll murder her now. Suddenly, the pair of aliens who were spying on Batman and Green Lantern earlier teleport into Roulette's office. As Green Lantern engages one of them outside, Batman fights his partner in the burning office. Batman's adversary identifies himself as Atom and his partner Neferto, two Venturans who came to Earth chasing after Drake. Atom forces Batman to choose between keep fighting or saving Roulette. When Batman chooses the latter, Atom makes off with the book. Outside, Hal's ring is overpowering Neferto's adaptive weapon, Haruspecs, when Batman tells him to chase after Atom. Unfortunately, Atom is already out of sight. Batman tells him the alien is heading for Ventura, and Hal answers they'll need a backup, and Neferto is already halfway to Arizona. Before Batman leaves, a very disturbed and panicked Roulette warns that the book is the Book of Souls, which grants its owner ultimate knowledge and power.
Book of Souls or Book of Destiny? I thought it was Book of Destiny.
That's what I thought. I thought it was the Book of Destiny, but yeah, I mean, this stupid
Yeah.
Summary says the Book of Souls, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure it's the Book of Destiny. Because I was like, that doesn't make sense. Wait. I don't know. All right, so thoughts.
I think it's a good issue. I mean, it's by Mark Waid and George Perez. I mean, come
Heck
on.
yeah. Yeah, I
Hal's
wasn't reading this book regularly when it came out. I don't know why, because
Yeah.
I'm like Mark Waid. This is like George Perez. This is written for me.
Exactly. And it was a really good first issue. Um, Lots going on. You know,
Yeah.
as the story is getting set up. But yeah, I thought it was a really good. I mean, and the colors. I mean, everything
Oh yeah.
popped. This is just a really great book.
Like you said, we got John Stewart real quick on page 1.
Hmm.
But
And we get, Hal acting like a detective, Batman being, Batman. And I do have a little bit of problem with something that happens in like issue 5
okay.
with Batman and, Brainiac.
Oh, okay.
Because, Brainiac is Brainiac and,
Yeah. Well, so what? Batman had prep time.
that's right.
But yeah, no, the whole battle in the Batcave was pretty cool. I mean,
Mhm.
Hal using the giant dinosaur to try to fight the thing, and
And the giant penny.
yes,
He said Dick Grayson said that, that penny would be useful someday. And it was.
and then the thing picks up the Batmobile, and Batman activates it, goes batteries the power, turbine the speed.
Nice little call out. And then we get several instances of look up in the air, it's a bird, it's a plane throughout this
Yes.
entire 6 issues, which I thought was kind of, and he does them in different ways each time, which I thought was cool.
Mm. I just love the casino scene because like Bruce Wayne's there in like probably like $1,000 suit, and Hal's still wearing that jacket.
Yeah. Because this guy works here and he has like a, $700 shirt. And he just works here,
Exactly. They're not gonna let him in until Bruce Wayne's like, yeah, no, he's with
Yeah.
me. I love when they're sitting there at the table and he's whispering to Bruce. He goes, you're doing that whole millionaire playboy act, which is always disconcerting, by the way. I think you revel in my discomfort.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, no, this one, yeah, like you said, the art is great in this. Of course, George Perez pencils and the colors,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
And there's a scene where Hal just, pushes his luck basically, recklessly, according to, Bruce Wayne.
No.
But that's the way it is, right?
Oh yeah, because he's playing blackjack. He's telling him not to hit it every time. Hal's just like, hit me. He's getting like 17, 21, 19. Yeah. Well, of course. So yeah, so I mean, again, this sets up our adventure because how basically takes off for space, and then
Mhm.
Batman's gonna take care
Handle
of
the Earth.
Earth stuff for a while. Yep.
Hmm.
I love when Hal was like, aliens. It's more my kind of thing, and Batman's like, murder is murder.
That's right. Doesn't matter. Not on my watch.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I thought it was a good start.
Yeah, me too.
See, I almost feel like we got cheated. I think I mean, there's still time to do some, but it's like we need some more Mark Waid, Hal Jordan stories, or at least Mark Waid, Green Lantern, something.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, that would have been
So I mean,
a good, a good. That could have happened during the year that they were taking a break, right? Have Mark Waid do a year-long series. But I mean, he gets the characters he writes. He gets the core of them and gets to the core pretty quickly. I mean, he's just a really, really good
And-
writer.
And he knows his history, his comic history too.
Exactly. Yep. But he doesn't always, he's not always necessarily bound by it. He uses it.
Oh yeah, I know, but
Uses it when it works, and then either explains it away or just doesn't mention it when it doesn't need to be mentioned. Right.
I mean,
Continuity is
yeah.
continuity as a tool, not as shackles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and again, if nothing else, he's like, let's cover some new territory. I know where this character's been before.
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right, should we get to the next one?
You bet. Fire away.
All right, kids. Hal's gonna have to face his greatest weakness. All right. Blonde alien females in skirts. Young blonde alien females in skirts.
I try to forget some of those stories.
At least he wasn't trying to age up this one.
Yeah.
All right, The Brave and the Bold, number 2, May 2007. The Lords of Black Part 2, Ventura. Same team. Green Lantern and Supergirl fly to the gambling world of Ventura in search of the book. It's still saying Book of Souls, so.
Yeah, it's the Book of Destiny.
The Destiny. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
During the travel, Kara constantly makes jokes or complains about her cousin, lecturing her on responsibility, or babbles about how thrilling it is going on a space adventure with a Green Lantern, and Hal constantly reminds himself she's still 17. Always constantly reminding himself she's 17, and remember who her cousin is.
Yeah, Superman.
I mean, again, Superman would just sit you down and have a talk. I mean, at least it's not like Batman's cousin or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I was just thinking about that too when I was reading, because it's like, yeah, they have a Helena Wayne from the future in the Justice Society book right now. I'm like, can you imagine trying to date her?
Batman's daughter.
She already told Bruce Wayne. She's like, yeah, I'm your daughter from the future. So, Sir, I was a complete gentleman on our date. I know I had 5 spy satellites watching you the whole time.
Exactly. And you should have tipped more.
No. That's right. That hand better not leave that shoulder. Upon arriving, Supergirl leaves Green Lantern's side momentarily to save a man who has been thrown off a window, and quickly learns Venturans are obsessed with betting and gambling. Kara is being harassed by crazy gamblers when Hal, disguised as a local, takes her aside and explains Venturan laws are very strict. They don't like chrononauts, precogs, or Green Lanterns. As Kara takes them flying, Hal adds their perp will be using the book to stay several steps ahead of the authorities. Kara points out then Autumn will know they're coming and have prepared ahead. But Hal replies they can't just assume they've already lost and give up. On Earth, a plane is arriving at El Paso. The pilot ignores what item he's been hired by Wayne Tech to fly from Las Vegas, and he doesn't notice Batman slipping out of the plane and gliding downwards. Neferto, though, has spotted Batman and is about to shoot him down when he's tackled by Blue Beetle. Batman is surprised to see him, and Blue Beetle explains his armor detected alien technology nearby and dragged him out of his home to look for it. Unfortunately, for when Blue Beetle leads Batman back to the downed gunman, Neferto is already gone. Back on Ventura, Supergirl is flying Green Lantern to a gladiatorial arena. Their flight is monitored by Autumn via the Book of Destiny. Autumn thinks no one can stop him from becoming very rich until he realizes the book rewrites itself. Once they're sitting in
That can't be good.
No. Once they're sitting in the bleachers of the combat arena, as Kara scans the area with her X-ray vision, Hal explains Autumn will want to score big and fast before he's caught, and this is the best place for it. Hal also has the feeling Kara is hitting on him and tries to put a stop to her advances, arguing, even if she wasn't a child, the answer would be no. She should have been like, that's not what I hear. Kara looks downright heartbroken, and Hal tries to explain he, together with everyone else in the universe, is terrified of what her cousin will do if he breaks her heart. And maybe she should ditch her red and blue costume if she intends to not be threatening. Supergirl says nothing and flies away. Green Lantern curses himself for his tactlessness and is wondering how he'll go about smoking Autumn out. When a new combatant enters the arena to challenge the huge dinosaur-like brothers Grog, Kara, looking like a pigtailed, pink-dressed little child. She winks at Hal's direction, and he realizes his looking like a child and rethinking the red and blue costume earlier words had given her an idea. As Kara easily pummels the brothers Grog to the ground, Hal fetches a data slat showing the wager data for that match. Supergirl is counting on the fact that whoever has the Book of Destiny is probably the only gambler on Ventura who would actually bet on her to win. Hal quickly spots and barges into Autumn's skybox, but the criminal has already run away. Right then, a patrol of cops and hounds of chaos burst into the place and attack Hal, believing him to be the cheating gambler. Supergirl flies in and shields Green Lantern as covering her partner. Kara finds Autumn thanks to her supervision, and Hal leaves to hunt him down. Autumn tries to escape, but he's bludgeoned from behind by the man whom Kara rescued when she first arrived on the planet. The man, who was overhearing both heroes, makes off with the book. Hal catches him, but the man declares the Ronian resistance finally have the means to destroy Thanagar. He's being Zeta beamed out of the planet, taking Hal with him. So that whole mess is still going on, the whole Ron Thanagar war. Supergirl tries to grab hold of Hal, but she's too late. Both Hal and the Ronian are teleported away, leaving Supergirl stranded on Ventura. Kara doesn't know how to reach Ron or go back to Earth, and since her disguise has been shredded, showing her costume underneath, everyone in the stadium knows she's a Kryptonian now and looks very mad. All right, thoughts?
It was interesting. Yeah, I prefer not to think about the issues with Arisia, so whatever.
I know.
They are extraordinarily problematic.
The two sore spots in we have for Will is Parallax and Arisia. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a really good issue too. I mean, we find out that Kara is very much a teenager. I mean, when she's talking to Hal at the beginning, just he can't get away. You don't seem to talk much because she's doing all the talking at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool that she goes in there and she's a freaking Kryptonian, so she wipes the floor with whatever is out there without even breaking, without even really paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
That was. But yeah, this was a good issue. I like Hal saying, look, they don't like lots of things here, and one of those things is me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a good thing. It says, oh hey, I see a Green Lantern. I'm 2-1. He's from Sector 2814. Which was I thought was kind of funny, right?
I know.
Because they're always betting on everything there. So anytime we get crowd stuff, they're betting on what's going on. Which this was kind of fun. And if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, so don't necessarily quote me on this, I think the Luck Lords were originally Legion of Superhero villains.
Oh, wonder if they were the
So-
inspiration or something. Yeah. Like, is
Yeah.
this supposed to be like their modern, something modern day here leads to, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, but yeah, I thought this was a good issue.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I applaud Mark Waid's restraint, where it's like, new series, you want to cut, he used Supergirl. I mean, issue 2, he could have come out guns and blazing and say Green Lantern and Superman, but no,
We got Supergirl.
yeah. I mean, we already have Batman, but it's like, yeah, you could have went Superman, but no, pick Supergirl. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is basically Planet Vegas because, like you were saying, oh, they were betting on everything easy from Sector 2814. That's like anymore, like the Super Bowl. Like you go to Vegas, they bet on everything. It's like, the coin toss at the beginning of the game, how long is, whoever's singing the national anthem, how long are they going to go,
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I hear. They bet on everything, everything, especially
You
when
can bet on everything,
Bowl.
right? I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, the Luck Lords were primarily Legion villains, so it's kind of cool that they brought them into modern continuity. And then, of course, we get. Well, we'll talk about that when we get there.
I was gonna say Mark Wayne must be a fan because, the Legion was gonna show up here. So
Yeah.
all right, issue 3.
You bet.
All right, The Brave and the Bold, number 3, June 2007. The Lords of Luck, part 3. The Lord of Time. Same team. In the desert of El Paso, Batman and Blue Beetle are being battered by a localized blizzard created by Neferto. Blue Beetle panics when he loses sight of Batman, so he flies up and blasts down. Jamie manages to stop the blizzard, but sets off an avalanche. Batman gets buried, but his frequent battles with Mr. Freeze have taught him to bring an ice melting device along every time. As Jamie's armor helps heat his body up, Batman warms up Neferto. Warns him Neferto will be ready for him the next time. Blue Beetle still wants to help Batman hunt him down. Unfortunately, Blue Beetle's armor can't track him anymore, and he's worried about Batman getting angry at him despite Batman's efforts to calm him down. Batman decides to fall back on his favorite tactic, finding a crook and beating answers out of him.
You go with what works, right?
Exactly. The old standards always work.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Ray loves him.
Batman, my favorite character.
As Jamie sees Bruce interrogating a crook, he figures out Neferto's weapons localization. On Ventura, Supergirl is trying to find a way to get to Ron, but nobody wants to help her out. When she states she can pay in coal squeezed into diamonds, an alien offers to introduce her to a guide, but you'll have to rescue him first. Because he's in front of a firing squad. Elsewhere on the planet, Lobo is facing a firing squad. Before he gets shot, Supergirl, who dressed like a biker chick now in order to blend in with the crowd, swoops in and takes him away. Supergirl explains her trouble, but Lobo refuses to be her star guide until he sees Cash. Kara shows she's Superman's relative to get him to trust her. But being a Kryptonian hero also means she needs to know beforehand what he was being executed for before making a deal. Lobo says it was an unpaid parking ticket for his bike, which he parked on the governor.
Yeah.
I know. She's like, just a parking ticket? He's like, well, I parked on the governor. Supergirl says out loud she couldn't justify hiring him if there wasn't so much at stake. Back at El Paso, Batman and Blue Beetle have snuck into the mansion of La Dama, the local crime lady whose specialty is to collect magical weapons and artifacts. Any criminal Neferto encountered would have steered him straight to her. Inside the mansion, Neferto's offering his Haruspex in exchange for teleportational technology. All of a sudden, the whole place goes haywire. The Dama's soldiers turn up to take her to a safe room, but a dimensional portal opens up and blocks their way. Epoch, no, not that one, steps out of it to claim the Haruspex and has brought the Fatal Five along.
Who are also what, Phil?
Legion of Superhero Villains.
That's right. We seem to be all roads point to the Legion, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. A battle begins and La Dama's side is losing. Batman and Blue Beetle interfere and La Dama and Neferto take advantage of their meddling to escape down a passageway. Batman runs down the stairs and wants Blue Beetle to follow him. But Jamie believes he can cover Batman. Then he turns around and comes face to face with the Emerald Eye.
The Emerald Empress. That's pretty cool.
La Dama and Neferto are trying to escape, but Epoch teleports in front of them and takes Neferto down. Straight after, Batman shows up and puts him out of commission. Ladama grabs the Haruspex during the brawl, but she doesn't want to kill Batman. She knows she'd lose her anonymity. Their stalemate is interrupted when Blue Beetle and the Fatal Five fight their way to the place. The Fatal Five are getting tired of pointless fighting and want Epoch to take them back home. Unfortunately, Epoch's fainted and his suit's failsafe transports him back to his native era, leaving the villainous team stranded. Both Tharok and Batman realize at the same time Epoch wants the Haruspex, so he'll return for it. Tharok charges Ladama to take it away from her, but Ladama fires the Haruspex right when Batman lunges at Tharok. A shockwave rocks the place. Blue Beetle can barely stand, and Batman appears to have merged with Tharok's mechanical half somehow.
Did not see that coming.
No. So not only is he Batman Ray, he's also Terminator.
Batman, my favorite character.
The Bat Terminator.
Exactly. All right. So thoughts, Will?
Another good issue. I mean, we're zooming along.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very familiar with Blue Beetle. So,
Yeah, the newer version I'm not terribly familiar with, but
we know he first appeared in Infinite Crisis. That was one of
Yes.
the books that we covered when we were covering Infinite Crisis. So
yeah, I was gonna say 2007 at this point. He's only been around for like a year, maybe, if that.
yeah. Which is interesting. I mean, he, from what I understand, and I'm not 100% sure of this, there's some kind of enmity between the armor and Green Lanterns, right? Or the Green Lantern rings.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember. Is it afraid of that?
Like the
or...
ring was maybe afraid of the armor or something, which I thought was kind of weird.
Oh, maybe, because I mean I know like the scarab that like creates that armor. It's basically like a doomsday weapon, like some kind of alien doomsday weapon. Yeah. So I don't know if they still do that, but I know early on, like I think like he had to tell it's like don't kill, you know. Because like even like when he first gets it in the movie, it's like no lethal force.
Cool. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good issue. Fatal Five was kind of a wait a minute, what? The Fatal Five are here?
I know, you're like, wait, we're in the present, right?
But yeah, really good issue. I mean, art's great and story's great. No complaints at all. And well, okay, I do have one complaint. In my opinion,
no Hal Jordan.
No, Lobo should not be living free in the DC universe. He killed his entire home planet, okay?
Yeah, I know.
And that Superman would not be chill with that. Supergirl would not. None of the heroes should be chill with that, right? So I'm not I mean, I get it. He's Lobo, and because he's sold, but I don't.
Again, comic book, comic book logic and stuff. It's like, why does anyone in the Marvel universe let Frank Castle run around?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, a mass murderer. So I get it. And, hey, he sells, so we got to put him in the book. So I understand that. It's just Superman would not let that stand. Batman would not let that stand. Wait, this guy he committed genocide against his planet is dead because of, So
not to get too
that's
far
my
off
only complaint.
Not to get too far off the beaten track, but you did remind me. I saw something a couple of days ago on, I think it was on Facebook. It reminded me of you because I think it's a panel from the Captain America annual, whichever one it was when he fights Wolverine. And I think it's like towards the end that it reminded me. He's basically telling Wolverine because Wolverine wasn't following orders or whatever. He's basically like, you better hope the X-Men never kick you out. He's like, because you'll never be an Avenger. I'm like,
You have a drop for that, don't you?
Yeah. Yes.
Spend this.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's what people were talking about it, like commenting, and they're like, well, yeah, remember when the Avengers would they were ready to court martial you if you didn't answer a distress call, and then they're like, remember Hawkeye would be like, "Oh yeah, Avengers aren't murderers and stuff," and then it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let's put Wolverine on the team."
Why not? Why not? I mean, ultimately, I guess it sold. It wasn't necessarily marketed to me, so I understand that. But it was other people loved it.
Yeah.
Hey, more power to them. But it was certainly not for
Yeah.
me.
Again, I guess they were trying to reach a wider audience, because that's what I was just thinking here too. It's like maybe that's the reason they did use Supergirl instead of Superman, and why Blue Beetle's here. Maybe so, like trying to like drum
Mhm.
up some interest in their books.
Yep. And that's probably why Lobo's there too, because he did and does sell books apparently. So there you go.
Well, then I think in the '90s, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this was 17, 16 years ago. I don't know. Good point. But yeah, I'm not a Lobo fan. There you go. That's my problem.
All right, you ready for number 4?
You bet. Fire away.
All right, The Brave and the Bold, number 4, August 2007. The Lords of Luck, Chapter 4, The Garden of Destiny. Same team. Batman has somehow been merged with Thurrock by the Harrispucks. Thurrock wants to hurt Ladama, despite Batman trying to hold him back. Blue Beetle slams Thurrock into a wall and gets his armor to analyze the Gestalt, but the Scarab answers, both beings are fully present. The Fatal Five choose that time to attack. They want the Harrispecs, so their employer returns for them. Upon seeing Batman has merged with Thurrock, they joke about burning him out or cutting him off. However, Batman hacks into Thurrock's mind control upon, was it Validus?
Yeah, Validus.
And makes the giant blast his own teammates down. Still, Thurrock is wresting control back from him. Before it happens, Blue Beetle takes the Harrispecs from Ladama and scans it uselessly. Suddenly, Batman pries the Harrispecs from Jaime and shoots himself. Batman and the Fatal Five disappear in a flash of light. Meanwhile, Supergirl is arm wrestling Lobo in a Venturan bar. She's angry because she hired Lobo to take her to Ron, and Lobo is doing nothing but screwing around and stopping by every bar he finds. Her patience is expended when a patron hits on her. After slamming the huge alien into a wall, Supergirl says it's time to leave. Supergirl and Lobo walk out and suddenly find themselves trapped in a hedge maze inside where space gets distorted. Kara tries to see through the hedge in front of her and looks at the back of her own head. She flies towards the sky and bursts out of the ground. Kara gets mad and throws a fit. Lobo, who isn't happier than her due to the complete absence of booze, decides to use his universe-famous tracking power to find whoever stuck them there. They emerge out of the hand-shaped labyrinth and happen upon Destiny of the Endless. Lobo tries to stab right away, but his attack is, of course, useless. Supergirl moves him aside to tell Destiny she's searching for his book and asks why he lost it. Destiny explains he's been the Book of Destiny's guardian since the dawn of time. While leafing through the pages, he found four figures who shouldn't be there.
4, you say, Phil? 4?
Unknown figures, Will. Their presence was rewriting pages sporadically, warping reality and corrupting Destiny. Destiny got desperate and thought the same ones who were destroying the book could repair it, so she took steps to place the book in their possession. He doesn't recall how they were supposed to fix it because it was a desperate gambit. Unfortunately, the Luck Lords, who have coveted the book for millennia, have a chance to steal it now. They manipulated 2 Venturan gamblers into stealing the book and enlisting a thief who betrayed them and was executed with the Harrispecs, a weapon powered by the Lord's sorcery. Supergirl says she'll recover the book if she can make it to Ron. Destiny informs her it's not sufficient. Time is splintering even now. They must deliver the book to its intended recipients. Destiny doesn't remember who they are, but he remembers Batman and Green Lantern will know. Satisfied, Supergirl decides it's time to go back on the road, but Lobo's nowhere to be seen. She's still wondering where he wandered to when Lobo rides through the edge, having just found his bike. Supergirl gets mad when he calls her Toots and Blondie for the umpteenth time, and nauseated when he hits on her. Well, he has no problem with hitting on a 17-year-old, I guess. Destiny opens up a portal, and before stepping through it, Supergirl asks if anybody can open the book up and read its contents. Destiny answers yes, if it's their desire. On their ride to Ron, Lobo abruptly tells her she'll grow up just fine, so she doesn't need to read the book because it's dangerous peeking at the future. Supergirl states it'd be nice to know if more Kryptonians survive. That's all. Lobo jokes it takes more than being a sole survivor to make someone as cool as him. Supergirl is surprised because everyone told her he was a complete bastich. Lobo grumbles everyone was right. Supergirl and Lobo finally make it to Ron. Kara believes Lobo will help out, but he announces his job is done and he wants his payment. Angrily, Supergirl says his payment was letting her win and was her letting him win instead of humiliating him in a bar full of spectators. Supergirl enters Ron's atmosphere and heads towards the nearest city, wondering how she'll locate Green Lantern when she's attacked by Ronian soldiers. Wondering what she's wandered into, Kara x-rays the city and finds Hal Jordan and Adam Strange fighting Thanagorian soldiers back to back. Supergirl heads towards them, pondering that whole mess has happened because one guy couldn't hold on to a book, which has been his only job since the beginning of time.
He had one job.
Exactly. Somewhere else, Batman comes around and finds he and the Fatal Five have been locked in by the Legion of Superheroes.
Nice.
All right, William, thoughts?
I thought this was a good issue. You know, having Destiny of the Endless show up, it's kind of a big deal, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And, playing with space, Supergirl sees the back of her own head, so it's like a localized weird reality. She flies up and ends up coming from below. Yeah, that's fun to play with. And yeah, I thought it was a good issue. Again, it's Mark Waid and it's George Perez. I mean, come on. It's hard to get better than that.
Exactly. And I didn't even know this. Yeah, they said that they did this was collected, so this
Yeah, probably in a trade paperback, maybe even a hardcover, because there was a time when DC would do a hardcover first and then wait several months and then do the trade. I don't know what they do now, but
yeah, it's saying The Brave and the Bold, The Lords of Luck hardcover collection. So yeah, they did hardcover this.
oh, cool.
Well, yeah, George Perez, why not?
Exactly.
All right. Should we get to the next one?
You bet.
All right. Number 5. So, of course, we'll once get there. Legion of Superheroes. All right. The Brave and the Bold, number 5, September 2007. The Lords of Luck, part 5. The Batman of Tomorrow.
Who, Phil? Who's
Batman.
tomorrow?
My favorite character. Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
I'm going to have to hit that button somehow, some way tomorrow night, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What's better than hitting that button? Hitting that button while he's sitting right there on screen.
Batman.
Exactly.
My favorite character.
Check out Wondercast, episode 4, kids. In the 31st century, Brainiac 5 is working to split Batman and Tharok, as explaining the former. They're the Legion of Superheroes, and he's in the 31st century, but they've not developed time travel, so unfortunately, he's stuck there. Several Legionaries are thrilled to meet Batman, but he's wary. Batman reflects on the events leading to his extra-temporal banishment as the Legion examines the Horuspex and himself. Brainiac determines that the Horuspex has created chronal anomalies within Batman's cellular structure. As long as he remains where he is, temporal rifts will begin to form. Right then, 2 rifts open, letting a group of intelligence and a swarm of Rimboran razors pour in. The Legion, aided by Batman, destroys all of them, but the trouble persists. As long as Batman remains in the Legion's era, more and more rifts will open. Batman tells them to use the Horuspex on him, but it'll not work. Batman is worried and fed up with Brainy's condescending attitude, so he hits him. Well, we said that's the Batman playbook.
That is Definitely the Batman playbook.
Picks up the Horus Pex, steals Brainiac 5's plate ring, and makes his escape. Meanwhile, on Ron, Supergirl rescues Green Lantern and Adam Strange from a squad of Thanagorian soldiers. Kara flies them away as she's asking why they're being attacked by Hawkmen. Hal asks why she's flying at Mach 80 and climbing, even though they're out of danger. As she's braking, Supergirl slams herself and her partners into the side of a mountain. Fortunately, Hal had time enough to form a bubble shield. Supergirl wonders why her body feels strange, but in a good way, and Adam tells her it's because they're in a trinary star system. Supergirl is soaking up nearly triple the amount of solar radiation she receives on Earth. Kara inquires about the Book of Destiny. The trio flies off, and Hal explains upon her arriving on Ron, he recalled the guy who stole the book mentioned something about a Ronian underground. So he figured he could check on his old friend Adam Strange. Adam reminds him Ron is embroiled in a planetary civil war. The planet was overrun by displaced Thanagorians, the Hawks, and each side is fighting for global control. The Hawks were winning, but since the Ronian partisans acquired the book, the balance of power is shifting. Strange escorts them to a group of ruins under the control of General Mondath, the guy who stole the book, back on Ventura and is now the leader of the Ronian forces. Mondath knows they've come for the book, but he doesn't want to hand it over. They're beating the Thanagorians back because he was lucky enough to find it. Supergirl protests he wasn't lucky. He found that book thanks to the Luck Lords. They have to get it back before the Lords scoop it up because then time and space will be doomed. Mondath replies, it's too late. The Luck Lords are already there. Back in the 31st century, the Legion mobilizes and begins tracking down Batman, but he manages to stay one step ahead. Batman leads several... Bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
That's all right. Batman leads several of them into the slums where Phantom Girl finds the Horus Pex lying on the ground before finding Batman. Phantom Girl was aiming at him when another rift opens up and Dream Girl steps out from a time when she was still alive. Phantom Girl is broken. If she sends Batman back, the time rifts will stop popping up, but her friend will be pulled back too. The remaining legionaries are heading into the sewers, but are stopped by Saturn Girl. She's just read Batman's mind and realizing what he's trying to do. Brainiac also realizes the Horus Pex will only fire when its target is perceived as a threat. Goaded by Dream Girl's words, Phantom Girl is about to fire when suddenly a gnarly limb appears behind her. There's a blinding flash of blue light and Batman and Phantom Girl disappear. When they open their eyes, Bruce and Tinya see one of the Luck Lords standing over them, holding the Book of Destiny and the Horus Pex. The Luck Lord states their plans, put in motion 10 centuries ago, have come to fruition. They rule the cosmos now, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop them. All right, William, I know you got a problem with this issue. Let her rip.
You know, it's Batman. I get that. But this is Brainiac we're talking about, okay? I don't think Batman could figure things out faster than Brainiac. That's really my only take on this. Now, I understand why Batman had to figure it out first. It's just annoying, right? But I mean, and this is the pre-boot Legion, right? The pre-reboot Legion. This is not the reboot Legion or the 3-boot Legion, which I think we talked about both of those a little bit. We mainly read the reboot Legion stuff, but we did mention the reboot Legion, which is also by Mark Waid, right?
I believe so.
And I think Barry Kitson, I think, was the artist on that, maybe. But yeah, it's nice to see. This is the classic Legion, so it's kind of cool to see them, especially drawn by George Perez. I mean, holy crap, right? That's awesome.
Exactly.
But yeah, this is a pretty good issue. We got the cliffhanger. Now we got to bring it home with issue 6, right?
Exactly. And again, we get the note. Yes, this takes place before Justice League of America: The Lightning Saga.
Gotcha.
All right. All right. So yeah, let's wrap this up. So Brave and the Bold. I'm just gonna find the link. Here we go. Brave and the Bold, number 6. From October 2007, The Lords of Luck, Part 6. The Girl Who Knew Too Much. In the 30th century, it says the 30th century, but I think they mean the 31st. The Luck Lords have devastated Earth, slaughtered most members of the Legion of Superheroes, and captured Batman and the last living legionaries. 1,000 years ago, they engineered events so the Ronians chanced upon the Book of Destiny to counteract the Thanagarian Absorbiscon, so deliberately extending the Ron-Thanagar War 1,000 years past its natural end. Both sides developed unimaginable weapons during that period, which the Luck Lords have now harvested. One of those weapons is a device with which the Lords look to rewrite time from the beginning. Batman and the two surviving legionaries point out the Lords deliberately prevented Batman from returning to his time, meaning they're afraid Batman can still do or say something that unravels their plans. A Lord crushes Brainiac 5's head to a pulp and states there's nothing he can do. They were on Ron 10 centuries ago and remember what happened. 21st century, on Ron, Green Lantern and Adam Strange hold back the Ronian resistance as Supergirl chases after Mondath to retrieve the book. Mondath uses the book to stay ahead of her. Supergirl lunges at them, but she can't handle her overloaded powers, so she smashes through the building and crashes outside. Backed by Green Lantern, Adam Strange tries to reason with Mondath, but Mondath is too arrogant and jealous of Adam to listen to reason and orders his troops to fire. Hal and Adam vanish, and Mondath believes they're dead because he hasn't read the next page yet. Right before the beams strike both heroes, Supergirl grabbed them and dashed out of there, considering the situation called for a retreat in order to rethink their strategy. Kara discloses what Destiny told her about the Book of Destiny. The men who were invisible to the book and whose identities Batman and Green Lantern would know. Green Lantern still believes Batman is somewhere on Earth. Adam's Zeta Beam can't teleport him in, but they need Supergirl to read the book to find out Batman's exact location. Hal is worried about Kara and doesn't like the idea, but Kara asks him to not protect her. She's the only one who can read the book from far away at super speed, and the time-space continuum depends on it. Supergirl spots and browses the book at super speed, looking for the present day as struggling to not get overwhelmed or go crazy. Upon discovering Batman vanished into the future, she gets forced to keep reading until she finds him in the year 3007. Now they only need a Zeta beam that they can teleport people through the time stream. In the 31st century, the Lords of Luck are about to execute Batman. Batman ignores his taunts and asks them to spare Invisible Kid. The Lords ignore him, but before they can kill him, Batman is whisked away from the future by a green Zeta beam. Batman lands on present-day Ron. Hal powered Adam's beam up with his ring's energy and his own willpower. As Hal tells Bruce everything, Adam goes to see Supergirl. Kara is standing still on a ceiling, dazed and disturbed after seeing her death, her cousins, and his adoptive parents. Adam is trying to make her snap out of it when Hal shows up and rings up a hologram. Batman has deduced the identities of the men they're looking for, and Kara confirms they weren't anywhere in the book. Batman and Adam are preparing to Zeta beam them when Mondath's troops barge into the tower. Green Lantern and Supergirl battle the Ronian army while their two partners finish inputting the coordinates of four men who cheated death several years ago and now live on borrowed time. Unafraid of anything. The Challengers of the Unknown. Batman promises to fill in the rest later, but now he needs them to grab the General's guidebook. The Challengers fight Mondath's troops, and Supergirl smilingly notes none of that was written on the book. They've changed destiny. All of a sudden, a massive robotic fist belonging to a robot piloted by Mondath and one soldier surges from the earth and drives a huge green kryptonite talon through Kara's midsection. Green Lantern hoists Supergirl and streaks into space. Meanwhile, the Challengers successfully take Mondath's robot down. Hal leaves Kara floating near the three suns, hoping the extra influx of sunlight will save her life. It flies back to the battle. Green Lantern points out they haven't yet seen the Luck Lords resurface. They must be hiding and waiting for their chance to get the book. The Challengers are driving the Ron army back, and Mondath runs away, but he's found by the Challengers who retrieve the book while berating him for being unable to adapt when his strategy fails. The Lords show up to take the book away from the Challengers, but Adam Strange Zeta beams Mondath and the Luck Lords to Oa, where they'll remain energized in perpetual orbit until the Guardians can pull Mondath free to judge him. Batman notes they've won, and Adam checks the book to confirm the 31st century is also saved. Adam Strange hands over the book to the challengers. He knows now, like, the war with Thanagar will end and the book won't help. He asks them to find out what they're supposed to do with it and be careful. In the meantime, Batman and Green Lantern are overseeing Supergirl's healing. She's conscious and recovering, but slightly dazed, and she's forgotten what she learned from the future. The group says goodbye to Adam Strange and are teleported back home. Thoughts?
Nice into the arc.
Yes.
I thought.
And again, there were so many threads in here, so many characters. I mean, again, this could have gone horribly wrong on the writing side or the art side. And of course, again, Mark Waid, George Perez. Yeah,
Yep.
it's executed flawlessly.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm curious. I assume Mark Waid kept writing this for a while. If the Challengers were kind of an ongoing subplot in the book, so I'm kind of want to read some more of it just to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because that's what I said. I wasn't reading this book. I might keep reading some of these issues because I guess Mark Waid's on here. I was looking in the app. I think he's on here till at least issue 15 or 16. So
Oh wow,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, I'll have to catch up and read some of them as well. I mean, I do know that I've enjoyed certainly his World's Finest.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty awesome when you think about it. Not only did he write, classically, and I'm going to say pre-Crisis, Brave and the Bold was the Batman team-up book. World's Finest was the Superman team-up book. He's written Brave and the Bold, now he's writing World's Finest, so... which is the Batman-Superman team-up book. So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
and again, I'm sure he enjoys that because again, he's a fan of all this history. So
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, I thought this was a great use of all of those characters, and just a good fun story. I mean, it gets crazy, but it never gets bad crazy. It's all kind of a good crazy.
yeah, no, it's like it's not at any point you're not like what's going on? You know what's going on. Yeah.
I mean, we get the Legion of Superheroes pre-Zero Hour Legion of Superheroes. We get, the Fatal Five. We get Luck Lords. We get Supergirl. Green Lantern. I mean, we get the Challengers of the Unknown, the classic Challengers of the Unknown, right? So yeah, this is a pretty awesome little arc, and it does make me want to read more just to see what happens, in the story.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like I said, Mark Waid, just big. He knows his history and stuff. I think they said back in the day, the only person who could touch Mark Waid in his comic trivia was Grunwald. Mark Grunwald.
Yep, exactly. And we of course both love
we
Mark
love
Grunwald
Mark
because we love Marvel's Quasar, which was kind of Mark Grunwald's baby, right?
Oh yeah, I mean he didn't create the character, but yeah, he made it his own.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, kids, we used to do a Quasar podcast.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
Listen to that young Will Allred.
What about
so
our
long ago
podcast, The Quantum Zone?
Yeah, that ran. We did 152 episodes of that. So
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the easiest way you can
almost 3
find
years.
Yeah, the easiest way you can find it, kids, go to the YouTube channel, and yes, there's a Quantum Zone playlist, so you can just scroll right down.
Yep, and it was and we've gone back and revisited the Quantum Zone a couple of times now, right? Yep, there's always of late there hasn't been any Quasar appearances to talk about, but whatever, we'll figure something out.
I know. The other day, Justin was asking me about Quasar, and so I was trying to explain that Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I'm like, yeah, he's swapping out with Avril, and Al Ewing really didn't get a chance to explain that. So,
well, yeah, what happened? We don't know.
Still don't know what's going on. Yeah, no.
unfortunately. But hey, his time will come again. It'll be all right.
Yep. All right, William. Anything else on these?
Nope. I'm glad you suggested these. These were some fun issues.
Oh yeah, because even I was like, oh yeah, and I'm like this. I'm like, I think the full arc is, we got to do the full arc, and 2, it's good anyway. So
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, but like I said, next time, yeah, we're gonna do more Brave and the Bold, not Mark Waid, but a few different writers. The Brave and the Bold 19 through 22, and then number 30. So I think it's Phantom Stranger, Green Arrow, and Dr. Fate is in the one shot. So
Cool.
because I believe Justin might either join us or send in feedback because he is a big Dr. Fate fan. So
Oh, cool.
yeah. And then, like I said, in 2 weeks, yeah, we're gonna cover Legends of the DC Universe, another flashback. It's a flashback series, so we'll get some early days of Hal Jordan and Oliver Queen. So
Yep.
yep.
Good stuff.
Yep. And then after that, we'll get back to where we were at. We'll get back to after the Sinestro Corps War.
Letting it soak in. It's a big
Yes.
deal. You
Oh
need
yes. And again, January, day one, we're gonna be Blackest Night kids. 13 weeks of Blackest Night kids.
it.
It's gonna be
That's
another. It's
a
gonna be another
season of the Blackest Night. One whole season, 3 months worth.
pretty much. Yeah, it's gonna take us to the spring. Pretty much. Yeah, I was gonna say that's another Operation Galactic Storm, man.
Yep, that was a big one too. Of course, we were doing read-throughs of those, so
Yeah,
those,
we only did one a week. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is gonna be a few a week. All right, kids. So yeah, send us your thoughts on all of this or this arc, the Lord's Luck. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, link to the Patreon. Once again, you can find all of Hellfire's drunken thoughts on Heroes Reborn from Marvel. This month's episode, Tyler and I did a review of the 1999 movie Mystery Men.
Remember that one?
Yes, I'd forgotten Paul Rubens as the spleen. I'd kind of forgotten that. All right. So, yes, find it all at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right. Now, for this Mr. Will Allred, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, master of his own Kickstarter comics, master of podcasting. Where can people get a hold of you?
You can find me at Walred at Gmail or Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Oh God, that's so annoying. And Facebook and probably Blue Sky and several other places that I probably forgot that I set up at this point. But if you'd like to check out the comics that I write, you can do that at you can check out Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. You can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And obviously, Phil and I are huge fans of Mark Gruenwald and Marvel's Quasar. If you'd like to find out more about Quasar, then you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
5 inches, maybe.
I hope it's going somewhere nice. Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
Oh my God, Justin and I were talking the other day. I'm like, oh man, I should try to get us like an interview with Tom DeFalco. I'll be like, do you want to answer for this, sir?
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Yes, he wrote that, and we read it out loud.
You read that out loud.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Issue of Fantastic Four with the amazing. Sorry, I can't do that with a straight face. With the Star Blast crossover.
Amazing. Star Blast, yeah.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us for this team up. Get you some more next week. Brave and the Bold, 1922, and number 30. Again, I think it's like a two issues at once. So
Cool.
a couple
Very
short
cool.
stories. And by this time, next episode, I should have my review of Green Lantern number 3.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Like, oh, great. All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, gambling is an addiction. So is trying to destroy time and space. Good night.